Meet Todd Nelson and his family. Together, they run Kalahari Resorts and Conventions, resorts inspired by the culture, the art, and the natural beauty of Africa. They believe the only way to bring the best of Africa back home to their resorts is to go out and get it, which means going off the beaten track, taking chances, and traveling beyond their comfort zone. It's not always easy, but with this family, it's always an adventure. One of the goals of the Nelson family's journeys in Africa is to seek out authentic art and decor to share with their guests back home. On this trip, Todd has brought the head of Kalahari Resorts theme shop, Joshua Reiner.
My job is to make our resort look African and feel African. The whole place is decorated in authentic African artwork and furniture. So my work has to be mixed amongst that stuff seamlessly.
I wanted to get Josh to Africa so that he could truly see what we see, and my hope was that he was going to be inspired.
Todd's plan is to introduce Joshua to the artisans he deals with at the local markets. But the first stop is an animal sanctuary on the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia. There's someone here he'd like Joshua to meet as well.
Okay, this is Danny.
Look at this guy.
Oh, he's huge.
Head over there, Danny.
Look at that. Wow. Here you go, Danny. Everything I know of Africa, I've learned from books. You can only get so much from looking at a picture.
You can pet him, they love that. They love that. Elephants are gregarious animals, they love to be touched.
I just spent 6 months sculpting an elephant, but after touching an elephant's trunk and seeing the depth and the texture that's actually there, I could see where I'm wrong, what was missing, and those things won't be missing anymore. These textures and these shapes and the way this stuff rolls, look at that. It's so much deeper than what I thought it was.
Now that Joshua has spent some time with the popular subject of African art, it's time to meet some of the craftspeople who create the work he has admired back home. So we head to one of Todd's favorite stops in Zimbabwe to see what the local markets have to offer.
We happen to be going back to one of our really talented leadwood carvers, Godwell.
Pleasure to meet you.
He runs our theme shop in Wisconsin, so he makes everything except for what you do.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
Godwell runs this great little shop. There's 3 or 4 guys in the back carving, and they do some amazing things. Wow, this is a beautiful ironwood Cape Buffalo. It's the largest one I've ever seen.
The quality and the attention to detail is immaculate. The texture here, you picked up the hair. The texture here, they've polished this to a mirror finish. This is a beautiful piece. It was absolutely humbling to visit these artists and watch them work and see the creations that they're making. It's incredible. The work that they do out of this tent is better than most modern workshops I've ever been to. It's incredible. He cuts it like butter.
That's it like butter. I like that.
Yeah, like butter.
Godwell has plenty of new wares to show off in his shop since the last time Todd visited. And the high quality of his work makes it clear why he's one of Todd's key sources for wood carvings. Of course, the only thing Todd loves more than supporting his favorite artists is finding new favorites. That's what leads us to the outskirts of the Zimbabwe capital city to a new potential source.
We found the most incredible stone market. It was like a diamond in the rough. We had no idea that Harare ever existed.
Harare was probably one of the best hits of the trip.
There had to be 200 or 300 artists and thousands of pieces of stone. We saw butter jade and green opal, verdite, dolomite, and we learned the differences in those stones. Some of them are harder, some of them are better suited for indoors or outdoors. And I've never seen quality like that in my life. There's so much talent in that 1 acre. It was really amazing. This is a much more organic way of doing things. He feels every centimeter of this stone with his hands. It's awesome. Cool.
Our plan was actually just to meet vendors and create relationships and talk about future purchases, and then we ended up leaving with about 15 or so large stone pieces.
Nice piece, Dixon. You're a talented guy.
It was a real gold mine to find Harare.
For Todd, finding talented artists and giving their work a home and an audience is one of the more rewarding aspects of filling the resorts with authentic art. it can also have a tremendous impact on the craftspeople and communities for which art is the primary export. One such community is Shanga in Arusha, Tanzania. In Tanzania, people with disabilities are far more likely not to have access to quality education. As a result, many disabled Tanzanians have difficulty finding jobs. Shanga was founded to create a safe and consistent workplace for Tanzanians with disabilities. These artists use recycled and sustainable materials to create new works of art that are a testament to the positive impact that art can have on people's lives and environments.
It's such a beautiful culture that they've made at Shanga with these beautiful people that are doing amazing work.
Shanga began with a single bead, but its impact has been felt by an entire community.
Every time we go, we just see more and learn more. And what these trips do is ingrain us more into Africa, and we learn and we bring it back and we share it with our guests.
For Todd, the most satisfying part of the process is finally getting to see the work of these artists arrive at the resorts. But these pieces of art are more than just decoration. Their presence in the resorts is the physical manifestation of the Nelson family's mission: to bring the spirit of Africa back to their guests. The art purchasing that Todd and family do in Africa is an investment in a valuable and rare commodity on both sides of the equation. The artists get the opportunity to tell their stories through their art, and we get to give those stories a home. Join us as we